Welcome back to the John Fourcade Show, sponsored each week by Veterans Ford. Another one of our John Fourcade specials this week, a 2016 Ford Escape, $19,900. Again, a 2016 Ford Escape, $19,900. Right here in the heart of Metairie, Veterans Ford. Welcome back to the John Fourcade Show, sponsored each week by Veterans Ford. I'd like to take you along with John Fourcade. John, 27-21 Saints victory over the Indianapolis Colts, and boy, early on, you thought this game was going to be a complete wipeout. 449 yards total offense for the Saints, the Colts 376. Mark Ingram, big part of that, 143 yards rushing and a touchdown. The time of possession, though, is astounding. 38 minutes and 23 seconds to the Colts, 21-37. Listen, the Saints, and I give Sean Payton a lot of credit. In 06 and 09 and 11, you won with offense. You were in the left-hand lane of traffic, scoring points. He's figured out a different way to win. With defense, special teams. And you saw the young kids, if it was Delvin Breaux, if it's Haloi Kakaha, if Stephon Anthony with the big interception, Tyler Davidson seeing a lot of quality time. Cam Jordan has really stepped up his game the last 2 weeks. Special teams, just like it was a week ago with Mike Marty's block punt, scoop and score for a touchdown. This week, the fake field goal, I think that ignited this football team. And it basically just kind of told, the coach, hey, you screwed up last week with that special teams play, we'll get you again. It was almost humiliation for the Colts early on.
I sat there and watched that game, and I kept telling myself, is this the Colts that people will talk about all year long going to make it to the Super Bowl because they have, Andrew Luck and they have this and they got all these quality football players? But you got to play the game, Mike. Saints went up there in the Dome Stadium and they jumped on them quick and early. And I was like everybody else. Wow, we could have had this game over with at halftime and we can just go on in and pack it in. But you got to play 60 minutes of football. I think the turning point for the Saints was when Ingram hit the long run, got it to the 1 yard line, and they threw the ball, pass interference on Hill, push back, through, pick. I told myself, why did you not just get the guy to run it down there, reward him for running down there, reward the lineman. You score that touchdown, and that game is totally over with, but you gave him some breakdowns on defensive plays. Bro fell down twice. What's the chance the guy fall down twice, giving up 2 touchdowns? But they fought hard. The defense played hard. Defense kept them in the football game. Offensively, if it wasn't for the 3rd down and 8 pass that he threw up the sideline, the Cook's only big play of the game, they still could have lost that football game, but they didn't. They won it. They found a way to win the football game, Mike. There are 2 wins in a row. They're back at homecoming here. I like the way the whole team played and the coaching staff did everything. It's a team victory. No matter who you play in the NFL, it's a win.
One of the things, too, is in breaking down film of this is, man, the return of Teron Armstead. And, I mean, they were running predominantly to the left side and a couple of runs on Ingram. He's 3 or 4 or 5 yards downfield. Nobody's touched him. I mean, Armstead is playing, you're talking about an elite player. If there's one player on this Saints football club offensively that's elite today other than Drew Brees, it's Teron Armstead. I mean, he is playing at the highest level. And I think that makes a lot for this football team because they had kind of played musical chairs at that left tackle position. But against the Colts, man, they took advantage of Armstead's talent.
There's no doubt about it. He's one of the top players on the offensive side as a tackle, protecting the quarterback's backside. He's one of the top in the league. But I got to get my hat off right now and say one thing. Marcus Colston, as bad as we beat up on a young man, he's been around a long time. He's been beaten up. He's got shoulder problems. He's got injuries. He's got age caught up with him. Made a fantastic play at the end of the game for them to get that 1st down on a pass that wasn't the greatest pass being thrown. My hat goes off to Marcus Colston, and he played well. But, with that offensive line the Saints played the other night, where has that been all year long? We need that for the Saints. If they can rush for 150 yards a game, we're going to be in every football game.
One of the things in looking toward the Giants game is the fact that this team doesn't rush a quarterback very well. And we see the Saints with 16 quarterback sacks. And, we don't look at the Saints as a really great pass rush team. The Giants have 9, but they've given up very few quarterback sacks. Eli's throwing that ball out real quick today. So I think you're seeing a little bit of a change, and I think that's going to be where you win it and lose it at this week. Also, everybody talks about OBJ and everything else, and it's can you pressure Eli Manning, and can the Giants protect Eli? Because if they give Eli a chance to throw the football downfield, man, he's carved up everybody. Which Eli is going to show up? The good one or the one who's thrown for some interceptions
and
from time
his
to time?
track record playing in the Superdome
has not been good.
It hasn't been very good. And I'll say this much for if they could just go there and control the line of scrimmage and don't turn the football over, I don't see the Saints losing this game.
I don't either. I think you just match up well against other teams, and you can see where that goes. But I don't know another team in the NFL with more Louisiana connection, especially on offense, as the Giants. You have Eli Manning from Isadora Newman, Orleans Darkwa, who's a Tennessee kid, but he went play football at Tulane. Ruben Randall, Louisiana guy, goes to LSU with the Giants now on one side. Certainly OBJ, Isadora Newman with LSU, now is a superstar player with the Giants. And their tight end, Larry Donato, he's from Grambling. Man, and got Landon Collins on the defensive side of the football, also a local young man. So, man, especially offensively, I can't think of another team with the quarterback, running back, 2 receivers, and tight end, all from the state of Louisiana one way or another.
Maybe they'll throw us a bone and throw some picks and not catch some passes for us.
But that means they'll be asked for more tickets than any other team on the road.
The last 3 games that these guys have played, I think from what I understood, the winning number was 48 points being scored by the winning team. So there's not a lot of good defenses playing against these guys when they play each other. But you're right, they're bringing some quality players in here. The Giants aren't the Giants of the old when they won the Super Bowl. You can name a bunch of studs and great players on that team. They've won good. Here, now let's be honest. Now
defensively,
they
can
honestly be right now looking at them with 1 loss or maybe 0 losses because they have lost some games this year when they're taking a 2-touchdown or double-digit lead in the 4th quarter and lost those games. The Cowboys and to Atlanta. I look at this is a good Giants team coming in here. Somehow I just don't see them beating the Saints here in New Orleans.
The one number that sticks out to me, giveaway, takeaway, which I think is the most important number. The Saints are at 0 now.
Yes.
0. The Giants are plus 10. That tells me that they're an opportunistic team on defense. They don't have a great pass rusher, but man, when the ball hits those defenders' hands, they come up with it and forcing fumbles too. So I think that's a big, big key. When you plus 10 giveaway, takeaway, that's real strong. Really, really strong.
But guess what? Guess who's coaching that defense? He's going to want to come here.
Steve
Spagnuolo. His 1-year wonder here didn't go very well, and he wants to come in here and prove to people here in New Orleans they made a big mistake by letting him go.
It's amazing the career of Tom Coughlin, too. I mean, you're talking about a guy who had great success at Jacksonville, faded at the end, and all of a sudden he goes to the Giants, wins a couple of Super Bowls there. Every year they're ready to retire him. Now your word is, well, when he's getting ready to leave, Brian Kelly from Notre Dame will be the guy to take over for him. So it's interesting to watch this guy who's always been in the shadow of someone else as a coach, and he's really had a great career.
I'm going to tell you what helped him finish this, last him as this long. He changed his ways. Remember, he used to be hard-nosed, and you can't do that now. Now, when I played and everything, we understood that. You can't do that with these players nowadays. You got to pamper them and kind of lean in and give up to what they want to do. And he's changed his ways. He's still a head coach, but now they're getting more respect of him. And he's understanding the younger players. And he's a little bit different guy. I think he looks younger and more refreshed now than he was, 3 or 4 years ago.
And they're doing it without Jason Pierre-Paul on defense.
He'll be back, but he won't be playing this week.
And he won't be the same guy.
Yeah, he'll be back this week, folks. That's Jason Pierre. Get a picture of me and Jason. That's I'm a little thumbless and fingerless.
Yeah, and the one thing with that is, man, you find out real different when you don't have the strength anymore in that hand when you start to lose some of those digits. So we'll be back with more of the John Fourcade Show, sponsored each week by Vex Ford.